All right, live on Instagram. Gonna post out the story.
Sweet.
Got
the
it.
Veganless podcast is live.
Yep,
I just
just
got a
got it.
notification. Oh, it's delayed.
Noti gang. Yeah, I mean, we have the editing crew working on censoring you. So
Censoring who?
you.
What needs to be censored? I'm
You
a perfect
literally,
little angel.
you're getting blurred out right now. Like,
Get your ugly ass out of here, dog.
Better him than me, I guess. Whatever, but I'm sure I'll be blurred out shortly.
Your camera just breaks. They don't need to blur you out.
mm-hmm. We're just putting the ads over the top of you this whole stream. Just
good.
Yeah, just like halfway through, you need to act like you're looking underneath.
just peek through.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Hey, no we're interrupting too this time.
Listen, motherfucker.
You can tell the audio's coming from this mic, right? Not from my laptop.
Yeah. It's definitely, you can definitely tell it's coming from a good mic, not your, Apple mic. All right, guys. Welcome back to the 10th episode of the Veganless podcast. Today, we have Mr. Unnotched, deemed maybe the unluckiest hunter out there. We're competing for this, but
okay,
as of right now, yeah. Well, and we have the one, the only Andrew Peterson here.
Actually,
he'll be doing autographs after this.
There's more than one Andrew Peterson out there. I'm just
not that matter.
There's like a move or like a show made after me, dude. I think it's Drew Peterson, but still, like people are always like, "Are you the one that murdered the person?" I was like, maybe.
Yeah. I cannot confirm nor deny. Yeah.
Google that stuff. Google. I'm serious.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
Prove that you're a murderer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You guys heard it here first.
I got it.
Yeah.
We're going off track hard.
Yep. Derailed from the beginning. I mean, we don't have any successful hunting stories to talk about, so we might as well just make this.
I've got a lot of bad ones.
Yeah, we're going to listen to them too.
Okay.
All right. So you guys know me. Let's hear a little bit about who this unnotched strange dude is.
Well, thanks for having me, first of all. This is going to be fun, as first 30 seconds is already showing what it's going to be like. Basically, I started hunting. I hunted when I was younger. Didn't really take it seriously. Shoot forward to 3 years ago, I decided to get back into it full force with a bow. And that's kind of when I started turkey hunting, bow hunting more, all pretty much learning it from scratch. And I'm self-deprecating quite a bit in my general life. So whenever I started making videos, I was like, I'm just going to make them about all the stupid shit that I do and screwing everything up. And that's where Unnotched kind of formed from. I was a previous name, and then we switched over to Unnotched. So that's kind of what I do. I just like to have fun with it.
That's right. That's what it's about. And I mean, it's really, there's a million outdoor channels out there. So finding a way to differentiate is fun too.
Right.
I mean, there's a million of, the professional, hardcore channels. So yeah, I think a comedy spin is a good aspect to take, or a good route to take.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with being professional. And
no.
When I originally started it, I was thinking I'm going to be just completely honest with everything, especially the YouTube side of things. And then and I'm still doing that with YouTube, but the humor side came from the honesty side. and I posted like one funny video, and somebody was like, dude, this is like exactly how I feel. And people loved it and laughed at it. I thought I was the only person who this happened to. And that's where I kind of started doing more of the humor stuff as far as the short form content goes. And so it's just all about being honest, and people are having a bad season.
Well, you just don't see that very often. You see the more of the professional stuff. Like, yeah, you have some funny times, but at times it's like very relatable. Like, no, he's not joking. Like that's serious.
And they're not necessarily lying. Like these professional, TV shows that you see, they're not.
They're
lying
cropping out the bad.
Right, and that's okay. But when they crop out the bad and still act like everything went good, that's what is a little frustrating. I get you don't have to put that in there, because then if you put everything in a hunting show, it would be 5-6 hours long every video you posted. But there's only a handful that I like know about personally, but it's more of, not personally, but stuff that I watch where bad shit happens and you never hear about it, and then you're like, oh, you talk to somebody who knows something or whatever, then they talk about it. I'm like, I wasn't in there at all. It's when they act like everything's perfect and they're perfect. That's kind of a problem or an issue.
I don't want to say disingenuine, but kind of vibes like that. Like,
a little bit.
I think it gives false expectations for a lot of newer hunters too. They expect to go out there and then immediately have a 200-inch deer walk in front of them, bag it, go home before dinner.
And like people ask me all the time, they'll message me and say, hey man, like I'm wanting to get into bow hunting or getting into turkey hunting. What's the easiest way to do it? What videos do I need to watch? I'm like, be very careful with videos, because there's a select few that are actually going to show you like everything that happens. Don't just go watch somebody, even if they're being completely genuine, and because there is a lot of killers out there, but they go and watch that like, well, why can't I do it like the hunting public does it? Or why can't I do it like Heartland Bow Hunter does it? It seems like it always works out for them. And I'm just like, you can watch them to learn, but don't think that that's like the, sword in the stone. Like, it's not going to work that way.
Trust me, there's a lot more bad days than there are good days when coming to hunting. I mean, straight up about it. There's people think you're going to go in and make it happen first time you sit, and then trust me, there's a lot of sits you don't even see a thing, or nothing happens. So
some says you don't see a squirrel, and then you really rethink rethink your hobbies.
I don't have that problem. I promise you, I don't have that problem. Squirrel shortage is not a thing.
No, it always happens to me when I go out. I'm like, I don't think I'm going to see a deer today, but I'll get some cool footage of birds or squirrels or whatever.
B-roll.
And then there's nothing. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? I didn't see anything today at all. Except for
here's
my
me
breath.
climbing a tree. Here's me climbing a tree, more or less.
Here's that same branch I filmed 15 times. One of the
just the
leaves
wind
fell
moving
off.
the leaves.
Just the same clip of like where you're hunting and just like the grass blowing like this. Like.
Yeah, and then just different music. We'll just change the music every 5 seconds.
Right. Boutique, what's up, buddy? Braden, I need to get on this show. Love it, boys. Thank you for the support. Welcome, guys. So we always like to start this off, and I don't know if this is the right guy for this, but we like to start this off with advice for new hunters.
Okay.
Do you have some advice you want to share?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And it all stems from making mistakes. So we're in turkey season, so this goes for deer hunting as well. The more time you spend in the woods, even if it's you don't see anything at all, you don't hear anything, don't hear a bird gobble, whatever, I think the more time you get out, even if it is just on weekends, learning from just going out and hunting is one of the best things that you can do. Don't put everything into videos. Don't put everything into books. Don't do this, don't do that. Just go out there, and I mean, it's a cliche saying, but learn from your mistakes, because that's one thing I did this past year. I ended up getting a piece of permission ground, and it allowed me to hunt a lot more than me driving an hour and a half to go to like some decent public ground to hunt. This place is like 15 minutes from my house. It was So I was going hunting almost every weekend. And then if I ever got off work early, I was just going out there and just hunting off the ground. Just if the wind was right, go out there and hunt. And I learned so much just by being out in the field. So even if you aren't good and stuff's not working out for you, spend time in the woods and you'll pick up on a lot of things that happen. Even if you screw up your hunt, you're going to pick up on things.
Yep.
Yeah, try to take something from each outing, whether it's a good outing, a bad outing. Try to learn something.
Yeah, and some of them are going to suck, like really bad. And like the truck won't start. You get out there, you have to take a shit. It's just like the list just keeps piling on and on and on. And those really do suck. But the next time you go out, you're going to bring dude wipes with you instead of having to use a sock or something.
Hey, I don't leave to go hunt without toilet paper. I'm just saying that's just that's a necessity.
Dude wipes on deck.
Dude wipes are. Have you used dude wipes?
I have not. I have not.
They are the best thing that's ever happened to me.
I'm gonna have to look into it for sure. I don't leave without. Oh yeah, don't make me pull the bag. I took some. Okay. Don't make me. I'll pull my little plastic bag of biodegradable toilet paper. Yeah. And I hate to say it, but chafing cream, dude.
I hope it melts in your hand.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Hey, I've had to use a sock though before too, so I get it.
Yeah, extra socks.
Humble beginnings. Yeah, humble beginnings.
Oh, there's nothing worse than walking out without a sock or two, man. I cannot stand the feeling of like shoes with no socks, and you'll never forget another dude wipes or toilet paper again.
Yeah, you'll never do it. No, even if you have it in your truck, just make sure you have it. Because oh man, and they're always the worst too. They're never just like a normal crap. It's like, how fast can I get down the tree? Do I have time to get down the tree?
Oh yeah. Do I have time to get down the tree, or am I eagle dropping it right here?
Yeah, I think it has to do with my diet. Yeah, my diet during hunting season consists of like energy drinks and like
little Debbie's aren't good.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Like we aren't eating an actual breakfast most of the time before we go out and go hunting. I'd say that's part of it.
Slamming energy drinks and get a bunch of little Debbie's, go to town.
Yeah, you're like, oh, a Nutter Butter for breakfast? Sure, it's deer season.
Put me in, coach.
Yeah.
Maybe you're feeling risky and get like a gas station sandwich or something too. Never goes well, but
Casey's pizza, Casey's breakfast pizza, and Casey's breakfast sandwiches. That's like a reward. If I'm having a good day and I'm like, okay, this hunt's I feel like it's gonna go good, then I'll stop and get Casey's pizza. And I'm like, okay, this is I'm manifesting today. I'm gonna eat some real food.
So does that work out for you?
Couple cups of coffee, man. That's what it is right there. A couple cups of coffee.
Yeah. No, it doesn't work out for me most
No,
of the time.
It doesn't.
I feel better going into the woods. Yeah.
What a great start we have with this episode.
Yes.
Welcome to the Veganless podcast where we talk about our bowel movement.
Yeah.
In today's episode, we tell you how to properly take a shit in the woods.
Yeah.
know your leaves.
Okay, here's a real question. Do you guys lean up against a tree, or do you like hold yourself off of a tree?
Hold myself, dude. Oh yeah, hold myself.
You hold yourself off?
Oh yeah, like I hold onto the tree or something, or like a branch.
What if you lose your grip?
Oh, you don't. You just don't lose your grip. You make sure you're not going to lose your grip.
I've tried it when it's been like super cold outside and my hands get numb and I can't feel them, and I'm afraid that I'm going to like lose it and then fall right into the present I left myself.
I try to make sure I dig a little hole if I can, if the ground's soft enough.
No, guys, this is serious. This is serious stuff. The ideal situation. Here's another tip for new hunters. When you're walking to your stand, you're going into your spot, keep an eye out for stumps that are dead.
The tree.
Or branches. Branches on the ground.
Yes, those are the best place to go. Mm-hmm. Because
I've used the old stick before. I used the stick like on the tree before.
Yeah.
Hold on, that thing ain't coming off.
How about those dudes that just slide the saddle over?
Hey, I have.
Works great.
I've used it before. I'll unbuckle the leg straps and I'll run it underneath my shoulders.
Yep.
Because I didn't feel like taking everything off the tree. Now, I wasn't shitting 15 feet up, but
the old eagle drop.
Yeah. But yeah, hey, it's comfortable. It's a little weird because you have to go over everything, but
trust your equipment, right?
Yeah. Yeah. They make a shitting saddle. There's a
company that
makes yeah. It's just for going to the bathroom. This is horrible. We're children.
Yeah. Grow up.
You can't get canceled if you cancel yourself, guys.
Yeah. No, this isn't bad. We can get that.
No.
Okay.
It's a slippery slope with the three of us in here.
Okay.
Oh man, do you have another piece of advice for new hunters, Andrew?
I mean, nothing crazy, I guess. New hunters, don't make anything into a competition between everybody. This ain't a big dick swinging contest. Go out and do what's best for you and what gets you excited, and just have fun with it. So there's too many people that think that, I got to shoot the biggest, I got to have the best, and I got to have the best stuff. And it's not what it is, man. Go out and have fun and just enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah. Set goals for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
realistic goals.
Yeah. And some people will hear you say that and they're like, well, you're just telling them to go out and shoot spikes and shoot small bucks. And in my head, I don't take it that way. I'm like, no, they need to go out and shoot what they want to shoot.
Yep.
If they set themselves a goal of a 130, 140, whatever, then that's their goal. Don't try to, if you have your goal standing underneath you, don't pass it because you saw somebody on Instagram kill a 170.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of that. Like,
it just comes back to what you were saying too. I mean, dude, like you're showing the real life stuff. I say that too. And I mean, I've shot the spikes, I've shot the fork bucks, I've shot the button bucks before. I still shoot some button bucks occasionally on accident, but still, it's like shoot what gets you excited, shoot what makes you happy. Just don't be upset about what you shot afterwards. So.
Yeah. And I mean, this past season was just a great example of me. I'm somebody where the position I'm in, obviously I take hunting seriously. I enjoy it, but people see like the comedy side of things and like they'll make jokes, and I make jokes about killing a spike because it's the last day of season. Realistically, I don't do that. The amount of deer that I passed, and I'm not bragging, they were small deer. It's not like they were crazy big deer. But me being a person in my situation, I ought to be shooting whatever walks underneath me because of my experience and everything. And I didn't, because I set goals for myself. There's certain things I want to accomplish, and I just didn't do that. So I'm a perfect example of I am in the social media of hunting. I am in the industry. I hate that word, but we are in that industry. I have so many influences that I talk to on a weekly basis that kill giants every single year. And I still go back to what I want to do. And you got to do that.
Yeah. What makes you happy?
Yeah.
Seriously. It's huge.
Yep.
It's huge. It's like I said, there's too many people out there that, I hate to say it, but it's a dick swinging contest,
Yeah.
I shot a 130. Well, I shot a 135. Like, cool, as long as it makes you happy. So,
and it's same way with turkeys. Yeah, it's same way with turkeys. Like some people are shooting jakes. Honestly, if a jake gets in and he gobbles for me this year, he's probably gonna get shot. I passed on jake last year, like the last weekend of season, but I was telling myself in the head, I was like, dude, just gobble for me. If you gobble, I'm going to kill you. Because I saw his little beard sticking out. I was like, come on, just do it. And he never did. So I never shot him.
You strut for me, and you're probably going to get shot. I'm going to be honest. I've shot one turkey in my life.
Yeah.
Jake comes in and, gobbles or struts up for me and gives me a show. Oh, done.
I started turkey hunting last year. And it was late season when I got to start. So, I mean, they're already pressured and it's chaos. Bad luck on weather, all kinds of, I could go on. But I had one opportunity last season to shoot something. I had a bearded hen at 20 yards, and then I'm like, I feel bad doing this during spring, during nesting season, and I let her walk. And then I'm like, I didn't get another opportunity. I'm like, well, damn, like,
right.
Bearded hen would be pretty fucking cool, but here we are.
So I shot last year was my first solo turkey, like that I hunted turkeys when I was younger with my dad. I killed 2 then. Wasn't turkey hunting until probably 3 years ago. The first year I went out, I sucked. It was horrible. I was just yipping. I sound like a hurt beagle on a call, and it was awful. But I was hearing birds, and I was getting birds close enough where I could have killed them, but I just small little tweaks. I just didn't know what was going on. I'm like, I'm on this wide open ridge. Why is he not moving any closer? I'm like, that's exactly why, because you're trying to act like a hen, and he doesn't see a hen because you're in the wide open. And so, I killed that one last year, and we get 2 tags in Missouri, and it was the last weekend when that Jake walked by, and I was feeling that too, because he didn't gobble at all. Like, no, he just walked in on me. I had given up on the day. I had like an hour left before season closed, like for that day, because we can only hunt until 1 o'clock, and he just walked in. I'm like, dang it, dude! If you would have been gobbling, I probably still would have shot you, but he did nothing at all. He was just strolling through. I'm like, okay. But then the next day I didn't see or hear anything. I'm like, dang it, I should just kill him.
I have not seen a single male bird yet this season. I haven't been out a ton. Don't get me wrong. I went out all last weekend. I went out like an evening. I don't know. I've probably been out like 4 days, I think. But I have seen 6 or 7 hens. Not a single male. I've been down bad right now. So let's hope this turns around. I've had them gobbling all around me, real close. Can't get anything to commit.
I'm not trying to one-up you, man. I'm not trying to one-up you, but like last weekend I was out and we had some birds gobbling out in front of us, but they went to the neighbors, and around like 8 o'clock, the piece across from my in-laws' house, we can deer hunt, but not turkey hunt. My wife sent me a video of like 3 toms strutting it up like 250 yards off the front window. I'm just like, all right, pack it up. Let's go. We're getting out of here. We're done.
Done with this.
I'm over it.
I took my younger brother out 2 weekends ago for a youth turkey, and you can hunt all day, but I was just driving around we were just driving. I picked a back road grove. We were just checking fields for strutters, and we pull up on this. We're going down this highway, and I'm like, let's turn off this road, just see, what's going on. And we start going down this road, and 20 yards off the road, there's probably 10 or 15 longbeards. 2 of them are breeding. 3 of them are in strut. Other ones are just walking around, gobbling their heads off. I'm not kidding you. If I was in the right lane, I could have stuck my gun barrel out and touched them. They were that close to the road. So I went and knocked on the door. They wouldn't let us hunt. So we left, drive 45 minutes back towards like my house. And I was like, let's try this road, see what's on here. And we get past, and he's like, oh, there's 2 hens in the field. I'm like, oh yeah, I do see those hens. And we get past a piece of timber, and I'm not even joking. There's probably 25 longbeards in this field strutting. And I'm like, dude, it sucks that trespassing is illegal, because we can kill those suckers. Like, it was just a perfect setup. I found the guy's address, but he was like a business. It was on a Saturday. He wouldn't answer his phone. And I asked one of the ladies next in her business, like, do you have his contact information? She's like, I do, but I'm not giving it to you. Like, we're in the middle of like Springfield, Missouri, and 2 just hillbillies in camo walking in the middle of a downtown city. And you're like, we're not giving it to you. Like, fine, whatever. But we never got anything. So
unlucky.
No. And then today I went out and had probably 5 or 6 different birds gobbling. They were all on private around this piece of public I was hunting. So I missed some birds in the same spot last year. So I just sat there. I'm like, they did the same thing last time. I'm just going to sit here. I got to leave at like 8:30. And sitting there, and I hit the pot call, and one closer gobbles. Still on private. I'm like, okay, so he likes that one. And I hit the mouth call on 2 other. I was like, so they like that one. So I just started just trying to sound like 2 or 3 different hens at once. And I'm doing this, and I just hear, and this hen comes barreling towards me, like right towards me. And I'm like an idiot hitting this pot call like super hard, like really, like my whole arm is moving. And she sees me about like 30 yards, and then she putts and takes off. I'm like, oh my gosh, nothing works out for me.
Unlucky.
Yeah.
Yeah, Saturday, I think. Yeah, Saturday. I was hunting on some public, and like I said, there was gobbling over the hill. And then I had 2 hens come out earlier in the morning, and then after a while, I hear 2 shotgun shots right over the hill where I was hearing gobbles. I'm sitting there, I'm like, well, shit. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do like a distress call, like a regrouping call, and did it. And then I had a hen come up and hang out with me and my decoys for literally a half hour. Just had her purring, clucking, making all kinds of noise. She's rolling around in the dirt, and couldn't get anything else to come in though.
Dang. Yeah. You were kind of talking a little bit about those. They're just like right outside. They won't come any closer. Mm-hmm. That's how I killed my bird last year. They were doing the same thing. They came in like 80 yards. They came to, it was a perfect setup, but they just didn't want nothing to do with me. They walked off, and I just followed them. I'm not even kidding you. I would call, they would still gobble, but they were going the opposite direction. I just followed them, and I got within like 60 yards, and I gobbled on my mouth call, and then they got pissed, and they started coming back towards me. So then I had to hurry up and get set up somewhere. And but sometimes you just got to get in their bubble and just make them mad. And that's what I've learned just over the last 2 years. If they're being stubborn, even if you do it by accident, those birds I made last year was by accident. I was getting ready to leave. I always hit the pot call one more time on this ridge, and they gobbled like 50 yards from me. Came in on a string, and then I missed. And like,
oh no,
holy, this is so stupid.
Yeah, I had all the self-film crap. I'm like, oh man, how do I even pack this with me? And I just need to dial that in and tweak it to be a little more mobile.
You should see me running around turkey hunting with I got the shotgun on my shoulder, and I've got this big ass tripod with my camera on top.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing archery. So
it's like yeah. I was going to do archery, try to kill one with my bow, but I freaking fell out of a tree last week, and I can't draw my bow back right now. So,
as I mentioned to you, buddy, there's easier ways to get cleared to use a crossbow.
I did go to the doctor today. Nothing's broken, but
that's good.
He said, he's like, I want to shoot your bow for like 2 more weeks. And so we'll see how I'm feeling the last week of season. I might just say screw it and just hurt myself to try to kill one with my bow.
What could go wrong?
Right.
You got time till whitetail season. You got time.
You're only drawing like 30 pounds though anyways, aren't you? So
Hey now.
Jeez, that call him out like that.
Yeah, that bow's 70 pounds. Thank you very much. 29-inch draw. Yeah.
Got a badass over here.
I'm a badass.
Got the speed.
I'm going to kill a Cape Buffalo with this thing. I just got to work out more.
Right?
Yeah.
Can you turkey hunt in Ankeny? I don't believe any of the towns have anything for turkey urban wise. That'd be cool because they're everywhere. But
I wish. County, if you can get some county pieces that are close to Ankeny, but that's technically county, you could probably
outside of city limits. Hub hanger, what up, fellas? What we talking about? We are talking about being fantastic turkey hunters. Maybe drop the word fantastic, but
yeah.
We are talking about trying to be turkey hunters.
Yeah, let's see. This podcast, we've talked about advice on how to poop in the woods. We've talked about little new hunter advice, turkey hunting fails so far.
Yeah, how to screw up a turkey hunt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it works.
We're so cautious and stuff, and then you fucking open TikTok and you scroll, and you just have some dude like, and getting them all riled up and shit. It's like,
right. Yeah. It's that, I mean, it goes back to the being serious thing. There's a certain line of especially with deer hunting, I feel like some people like shut down during deer season. And I get if that's your way of doing things, but you don't have to be an asshole about it. You can still be serious about hunting your deer and doing this and that, and you can still relax after you're done. Like it's okay. Like, you didn't spook them all off the property. It's fine. So hey, shit happens. Just live with it. Move on.
Roll with it.
Don't do that next time. It's that simple.
Tomorrow's a new day.
Learn something each hunt.
Yeah.
So how long into your turkey hunt does it turn into a deer scout / morel situation?
So sunrise is at 6:30, so probably like 6:31 most of the time.
That is what turkey hunting is for, is deer scouting, honestly.
When they stop gobbling.
Yeah.
When they stop gobbling and your adrenaline kind of tapers off, then it's like, ooh, squirrel, ooh, piece of candy.
Yeah.
And whenever I go mobile, I'm like, morels, where are you at?
Right. Yeah. You're looking everywhere. And then you're like, man, if Wendy's not a Wendy's Big Mac, a McDonald's Big Mac sounds really good. Right?
Yeah. Well, it's really a kick in the nuts, because you're like, man, I fucking suck at hunting. And then it's like, fuck, I can't even forage. Like,
right.
Because they say there's hunters and there's gatherers, and like, we can't do either. Like, where's that leave us? Like,
yeah, I can't do anything. Oh, sorry.
So then it just turns into filming stupid TikToks. Like,
right.
Yeah.
I'll go hunt the neighbor's cows. How about that? Yeah. That was a joke. Kidding.
Unless.
Is it?
Yes.
I feel the same way. Why do we really do it then? Quick stats. I got 2 birds in 7 years turkey hunting public, but 14 deer and 9 years for deer. What the fuck? It do be like that.
I think people overthink turkeys. Yeah, I think people overthink turkeys too. Turkeys are aware, but they're also really freaking dumb. Like, they're so dumb.
They will
getting outsmarted.
They'll drown themselves in a rainstorm by looking up at the rain.
Right.
Like, that's how dumb they are.
Here's what pissed me off about turkeys. They can, obviously their eyesight's good and their hearing's good. Like, I've watched and read like studies of people who like call at one tree. They'll stick a trail cam up on that tree, and that turkey will come directly to that tree after they call. And I'm like, okay, so they're a little smart. But then there's a creek with no water in it, and they won't cross that creek because they're lazy pieces of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, turkeys, I think people overthink them, because I used to overthink them. They're aware. I don't think they're that smart. They're dumb birds. They're dumb dinosaur birds.
Ridiculously good vision that'll bust you a lot.
Don't move. I know people kill them with pit vipers on while they're turkey hunting, and they still kill birds every single year. Just don't move. Learn how to yelp on a mouth call, and just have a little bit of woodsmanship. You can kill a turkey, or you can get close to killing one. Like, after that, if you miss or you screw something up and they spook, then that's your fault. Right? Yeah. Just don't overthink them.
Damn, I got work to do.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny you brought up that whole they'll drown themselves in the rain. Isn't that how you tagged your one turkey?
Dude, come on now. Come on now. I was just laying out in the middle of the field, and I was like, got it.
He's in his blind, and he watched this fucker drown. He's like, there goes my tag.
Thank God.
Are you serious?
No.
Oh.
Maybe.
Hold on. What the hell is going on?
Dude, imagine self-filming that.
Turkey just Turkey just offing himself in the field.
No, but I will say the one turkey I did shoot, I had one gobbling off back behind me, and it was an evening or whatever, because we can actually hunt till dark here.
Right.
And it finally shut off, and I was like, whatever. And like an hour and a half later, I was just looking out the back of the blind, looking at some deer, and I turned around, and like 9 yards away, this thing was just like, I was like, what do I do? I was like, shoot this guy.
That's so cool. Turkeys are really cool too.
They are. Oh,
it's fun to do during the spring, like.
Yeah, it's a good pastime, and some people do coyotes and I don't know,
trapping and
right. I think I don't know. There's something about it. Even if you don't kill, just going out, and this is going to sound so like soft, but going out into the woods and like sitting and like watching the sun come up and you just hear birds gobbling all around you. It's so freaking cool. Like, I don't know what it is. It's just like a movie.
It gets your blood pumping.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Well, I hate to say it. We don't. Well, I mean, I don't want to say hate to say it, but like we don't have elk here. I mean, you know, big dream of mine is to have an elk bugling in my face. So I guess like the old turkeys will kind of take care of that fix for now. You know, you get one hammering at you and come in screaming and going off. I mean, dude, it's an awesome feeling. So
that's on the bucket list. I think we will be on an elk hunt in the next, probably not this year, maybe next year. Like it depends on, we're planning on going to Kansas for whitetails this fall. So it depends on obviously like financial stuff, but either next year or the year after, we're gonna do over the counter Colorado. Like,
are you building Iowa points?
I started this year, or I'm going to start. I thought I bought. So here's the thing: I screwed up last year. I thought I bought a Kansas point, and I didn't, because Kansas, their website's really weird. So when I put all my information, I don't think I submitted it, and they just completely logged me out, and I thought that was the finishing process. And then I just forgot about Iowa last year. So
we'll see in like a decade.
Right.
Yeah. No.
Well, and I'm only 23, so
You got time.
I got some years to kind of start building up some points for a lot of things that I want to do.
Yeah.
You're smart to get started, though. I mean, that's the big
thing.
Right.
Some of those take years. Yeah, I started building Wyoming points. Elk is top of my bucket list, but I want to do an over-the-counter Colorado between now and then to get out there and just try to experience it. This fall, going to, assuming get drawn, which should, do a South Dakota mule deer hunt.
That'd be cool. That'd be fun. We're obviously Missouri, and we get $2 in Missouri, and then hopefully Kansas. We're putting in, and I say we, it's me and Lance. He's the guy.
He's been in the Instagram chat. Yeah.
Oh, has he? Yeah. He's a freaking whiz with a camera, and so that's kind of how we met. I had him come tack for me, and then ever since then we've been like hunting together. Just good hunting. I mean, I hate him. He's a dick.
Yeah, I was gonna say that poor guy has to hang out with you.
Yeah, but no, Lance is awesome. So when I say we, I'm talking about me and him, because we plan a lot of stuff, because we both want to fail together. I think we both feel better if we fail. We're not the only person that failed.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah, he did kill a Kansas buck last year, so he's already got one up on me there.
Ooh.
Yeah. I will say I've done the over-the-counter elk tag. I did it, what's it been, 2-3 years ago, and I'm not saying it's gonna happen, but you are very humbled after 10 days.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or 2 weeks, because we did that, and I went out and we had the night before the day opener or whatever. We had some bulls bugling off down in Valley below us, and then we went 10 days straight and didn't hear a single bugle or see a single elk. And
I got a guy from work.
Humbled.
He used to go out every year and do over the counter. It was before gas and stuff was stupid high. So, and he said he could go out for like 3,000. He could go out every single year for 3. He's like, I lived like horribly. I packed the least amount of food I could bring with me just to survive. But he always said, go out there, do that for a couple of years so you can learn how to call. You can maybe learn how they move a little bit, understand them more. And then after that, like, build your points up during that time. But then the time you get to draw, maybe you put in for a better unit, you kind of have an understanding of how it works. You're not going in completely blind.
Right.
With whitetails, it's different. I feel like everybody kind of knows how to hunt whitetails. Like, different terrain, obviously. You guys got a bunch of crop. I don't know where you're from, Andrew.
We're both central Iowa.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys got a bunch of crop and ag and stuff. Down here, it's a bunch of hills. There's maybe a cornfield every, 10, 15 miles. And then you go a couple hours north of Missouri, you start getting into the actual Missouri hunting.
Yeah.
But I mean, what I was getting at is deer and turkey, very similar processes, no matter where, or whitetails and turkey, I should say. But, elk is different. You can travel for deer and put in, and you don't have to go there and practice. You know what I mean?
You have the general basis. The terrain's different, but
right.
Like, food, water, bedding, cover, bedding. Yeah. Yep. Have a few chats to catch up with. Are you guys predominantly public hunters? I'm 100% because I have no friends. Well, I've hunted a lot of public, but I also have private, and I too have no friends. So, I mean, there's hope. You could.
Yeah.
We'll make 3 of us now.
Yeah. So it's always been mostly public. Like I said, I did get some permission property this past fall. So a lot more. I really haven't deer hunted on public since I got that. Unless I'm traveling to, like, if me and Lance are up somewhere. He lives like 2.5 hours from me. So he can't come hunt on the private with me. So we're hunting public out that direction. But I've always been public up until this past fall, pretty much.
How long have y'all been hunting turkeys? I started last year. I'm a noob. Don't listen to me.
About 3 years, like 3 years on my own.
I did it younger when the youth season, when my the actual private piece I have now, my uncle, before he passed. I mean, I did a youth season with him, but then kind of took a break, just sports and stuff in high school. But then been at it for 4 or 5 years now, and just I'm same with Daniel over here. Don't listen to me. I'm terrible. I go out and enjoy the scenery.
Right.
Yeah, I go out there for the sunrise, like, honestly.
Sunrise pictures.
And the gobbles. Yep.
Yeah.
Can we hear Cliff Note versions of your most memorable / best turkey hunt? Well, I don't think I have a best turkey hunt yet, but I have just like a really, of all things, this happens to me. It would have been last year. It was super windy. We were having 40-mile-per-hour wind and then gusting and stuff too on top of it. So my plot wasn't panning out. On our farm, there's like railroad tracks, and like it dips off behind the tracks. So I'm like, they're probably back there out of the wind. So I go back there, I set up, and I hit some gobbles. I have a decoy out, and then I have a velvet buck walk right up to me. And literally I'm like, hey buddy, could go away, like, go. There's a clip I recently uploaded, and he just turned around, walked off, didn't get pissy with me, any of that. So I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I decided to move like 150 yards farther, and I set up, hit a call, and right at 20 yards in front of me, there's a deer trail, and I had a decoy out there. So I see this turkey just haul ass up in front of me, head's bright red. And I'm like, okay, like, here we go. Same time he gets here, 2 does walk out in front. Like, they're both all of them are on the same trail. And he just looks at them, turns around, and hauls ass the other way. Like, just, it happened so fast. I literally couldn't hit record on my camera, like, couldn't touch my bow. It was just like, done. And I'm like, did that really just fucking happen to me? Like, what are the odds? Only me.
Oh, I think my most memorable one was that one I was talking about earlier. I hit the call like one last time. I was hunting all morning on this piece of public. It's like 300 acres. I started at the very ass crack of this piece, like the very back of it. I walked for like 45 minutes just to get to like the general area. Didn't hear anything, nothing all morning. So I'm walking out, and on my video, you can hear me say, well, yeah, the spot didn't really work out. I'm going to go drive around for a little bit, see if anything else, is in a field. I can go knock on some doors or whatever. And then it just cuts to me sitting up against a tree, and these birds are just hammering. Because I stepped off of the trail, and I hit the call, and they just fired off. And I just dropped down. There's another tip. If you're calling, especially if you're locating in the morning, be in front of a tree. Like, get yourself by a tree, because sometimes you hit your hoot owl call and they're right above you and they see you move.
Oh, and
it's horrible. Anyway, yeah, I dropped down. I got the camera turned on, which it wasn't zoomed in at all. It was just as wide as it could be in front of me. And the 3 longbeards came in, and they were just zigzagging at like 35 yards. They would not stop. and I'm trying to make sure that they have beards on them, and I keep coming up and down for my gun to look at them, and I think that's what screwed me up. That's why I missed. But I finally just hit the worst mouth call I've ever done in my life to get one of them just to stop and poke his head up. And I shot, missed, they flew off. But that was funny to me because in my head, I'm like, this day's over with, whatever. And I hit it and they're like right there moving towards me. I'm like, holy shit. I like that shit myself.
They can come in so fast and so quiet too.
Yeah.
Like you never know where the hell they're at.
Right.
That's literally how my one turkey came in. Like I said, one was gobbling off for an hour and a half, and it stopped, and I turned around, I was looking at deer, and turned around, and I was just like, poof, there he was. I was like I didn't hear him drumming, I didn't hear him fan up, I didn't hear nothing, dude. I was just like he just dropped out of the sky. Boop, there he is.
That's cool. That's another thing that's really weird is with turkeys spitting and drumming. Like you can't explain it to somebody unless it's happening like at 20 yards from you because you feel it. You don't just hear it, you feel it. It's weird. Turkeys are weird, man.
I've had it happen one time to me, and like I never really noticed what it was until I don't know if I was listening to like another podcast or like just talking, but like that's what it was. And I realized what it was because I had a turkey hang up behind a fence like 10 yards away, and I just kept hearing this like sound. It's like maybe like it sounds like a car going over like washout. I call them tear tracks in the gravel, but it's like not washout, but like where someone turns a corner because they're spinning, whatever. Like it just sounds like that, sound. And I'm like, what is that? And like never thought of it until like I just heard someone talking about it. I was like, that's what it was. Like the turkey was 10 yards away from me, and he was just spitting and drumming right there at the fence because and the fence had a hole through it, and he didn't want to walk through the freaking fence. I was like,
so. They're lazy. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, dude.
They're lazy birds.
Dude.
They're literally your spirit animal, I think.
Hey, I do, but I have a great story. I have a couple really funny turkey stories, but the one that really comes to my mind though, besides the like one of my first ones I shot as a youth hunter but didn't get, my uncle running out after it, like taking the gun from me because my shell jammed coming out, but he took off running after it and it got away. But it was actually the first time I had a dip a chew. It was with him. He's like, my uncle was always funny. He'd shoot, he'd open up. He's like, want a dip? I was like, oh, no, I was young. And one day I was just like jokingly like took it. I was like, yeah, I do. And I was like, I'm just kidding. He's like, oh no, you got to take a dip now. And I was like, whatever.
Yeah.
Like took a little pinch. He's like bigger. I was like, okay, like took a little bigger. Next thing I know, put this huge wad in. We get to the spot, headed in.
Room spinning.
Oh, well, not yet, but like we got in, got sat down, and he hits the call a couple times, boom, couple start firing off. He's like, all right. He's like, they're going to come in, like call it a couple more times. Yeah. And then I'm just like, oof, like I'm spinning, not feeling good. Guns leaned up against the barbed wire fence that's right kind of in front of us. He's like, get the gun, they're coming in. And I'm like, I don't feel good. He's like, you're fine. Get the gun ready. And I'm like, I don't know. And like, he's like, get your gun ready. So I grabbed the gun and pulled up. And they're like behind this tree, like 15 yards. And I'm just like holding I don't know, I'm probably swaying the gun, honestly. And I just look over at him and he's like he's giving me the nod. And I'm just like, just start throwing up. And he gets, hey, what in the fuck? And I like took the dip out through. I was like, okay, all right. Kind of like felt like a jackass over that. But yeah, I was just one of the great. We get done. I get done throwing up, and he's like, "Well, you want to keep going or go back to the camper where my dad was?" I was like, "Go back to the camper, please."
Yeah, I need to lay down on a cold floor. Like
terrible. So yeah, anybody out there, if you've never chewed someone off you a dip and you're turkey hunting, don't do it. Don't do it.
My story was fishing that happened.
Just don't do chew. I'm just telling you.
I think mine was hunting, but it wasn't really like a bad experience. Like I don't remember it being like I think I stole it from my dad. I think is how I got a hold of it. But but it never was a bad experience for me. I don't think so. I've been sick off of it before because I've than doing other activities, and like there's certain flavors that I can't have anymore because I might have been drinking. I might have been drinking too much and got too sick.
Yeah.
And so
I understand that.
horrible. So,
been there.
Yeah.
My story is last year shot a mature tom at 20 feet on the ground in Gilly with a compound late season, 8:15 a.m. Nice. Congrats.
That's sweet.
That's awesome.
That's way
so sweet. I want to hear some of these hunting fails from Mr. Unnotched himself.
Okay. Well, that turkey one's probably one of the like that was completely on me. I think another favorite was I was hunting on Peace Public, and I gained access through private to get this little chunk. It was like the private wrapped around this like square of this public, and either you walk like 3 miles to get to where I wanted to go, or you just access it from the private and walk maybe 200 yards. And I'm sitting there hunting, and I hear, I thought it was just like a fuck off buck, and because it's just huge steps coming down this ridge. I'm like, oh my! I had my bow, so I grab my bow and like I get my release knocked on, and I was like, is that a black deer? Like I was so far gone. It was 2 cows. There was 2 bulls running through this piece of public. And I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? And of course my adrenaline's high, super high. So I'm just like sitting there shaking, and these cows are walking underneath me at like 20 yards. I'm like, oh my gosh, freaking kidding me. So that was pretty funny. But what was funny about it is I got so amped up because I thought it was. Now I know what a cow sounds like running through the woods, because I've heard deer running through the woods before.
Your freezer would have been way more full.
Dude, it probably would have tasted pretty damn good too. Yeah. So that one was pretty funny because I was probably 17, 18. I was 18, and I was like, dude, this is a big buck coming through here. He sounds like heavy, and no, it's because he weighed about 3 times the size of a buck. So that was a pretty funny one. What else did I screw up on? I screwed up on something. Oh, last year, I was hunting off the ground on that piece of private, and it was cold, so I was all bundled up and stuff, and I shoot a thumb button, and I'm sitting on one of those triangle chairs. If I could show you guys this spot, you'd be like, why in the hell are you hunting here? Because it is the stupidest spot to hunt. It's all locust trees, so I can't climb a tree. Grass is super high. There's just a trail running through there. It's great for deer movement, but I got the property like the first week in November, so I didn't want to go in and trim branches off of things to put a stand or whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I had this big buck on camera. I don't know if I think I might have showed Daniel at Iowa. I can't remember yet.
Maybe.
Okay.
I saw so many random clips. I don't remember if you showed me or not.
So this was the one that I shot, never found, and then he showed back up.
I think actually.
Okay, so the 2 nights before I actually shot him, I'm sitting in that same spot on the ground. I was actually after work. I was trying to kill this deer so bad. I'd get off work at 4, and if the wind was right, I would drive to this property and hunt for like an hour, because I was just sitting on the ground, and I was like in like a button-up shirt and jeans hunting this deer. And so I threw my hoodie on. I went out there and hunted, and I was drawing my bow back to make sure I had my shooting lanes and stuff. It gets caught on my hoodie, and I was cold, so I thought, you know, when you let your bow down, you like kind of do it like real slow, and then it kind of shoots forward. Yeah, well, I was trying to like push it forward. I thought I was just cold, and it hits my hoodie, shoots, and this arrow has a blue lighted knock. It's overcast, and it's getting dark, so this lighted knock was just glowing, and in the middle of this trail. Like, oh, are you freaking kidding me? So I didn't see any deer that day. That was pretty funny. Yeah. I fell out of my saddle this last year too.
You fall out of a saddle.
I didn't fall. I didn't fall to the ground, but it was raining, and I wasn't wearing I was wearing like hiking boots because it wasn't cold. And this platform's got an angle on the front of it, so it's all wet and nasty. And I'm like, again, checking. No, I had deer under me this time. and I was drawing. It's a little 10-acre piece. This guy was like, "Hey, I have a deer problem." I'm like, "That's funny because I do too." And so I went out there, and he's like, "Just shoot all of them that you can." I'm like, "Cool." It's 10 acres, and it's like in a neighborhood, so it's really. And there's kids playing in the backyard, like 100 yards from me. I was like, "This would be so funny if I shoot a deer and it runs right past these kids. It just is bleeding out." And anyway, so I draw, and you guys hunt out of a saddle at all?
Oh yeah.
So
yeah, big
when you make that offside shot, I always where you put your back up against the tree. That's what I do anyway.
Yeah, spin around or whatever.
Yeah, I run my arm underneath my tether where I'm facing away from the tree, and my tether's running across my chest. So I'm trying to do that in the process of getting turned to do it, and I slip on the edge of my platform. Good thing I didn't drop my bow, but I had my bow in my hand. I slipped. I gripped onto my bow, and then my elbow slides, and I hit the side of this tree. And I'm just sitting there hanging, and these does are looking at me. I just like wasn't moving.
Probably giggling at you.
Yeah, I'm just sitting here swinging in this tree, like, oh my god, and wait for them to bust and go off. But that was another funny one. I actually made a video about that one. I was like, if you're saddle hunting, or it's like, here's a saddle hunting tip. If you're saddle hunting and you slip off your platform and spook the deer off and bruise your elbow, if you just undo your tether and jump off head first, you'll forget about everything that just happened.
I think I remember that one now that you said that.
Yeah. So those are just recent, man.
He's like, believe me, I have a whole fucking book of them.
Right. Yeah. But those are the ones where I wish I had a camera running.
I know, dude.
Be hilarious.
So I lost my GoPro somehow between urban season and now. And I finally, like, I was holding out. I'm like, I'm going to find this. I'm going to find this. Finally, I gave up and I ordered one of the Insta 360s, and it showed up last week. So I took it out Saturday with me, and first I start in the blind, and then it gets windy throughout the day, and like my blind stake rips up the side of the blind, folds in. I'm like, okay, we're done with the blind. Pack it up, take it back. And then I'm like, I'm already out here. Let's go into the woods and see if we can find something in there. And I have like a burlap, like camo kind of like netting or whatever I took to just use for cover. And I had it, I think, on my shoulder or something, and like draped over. And I had the Insta 360 and selfie stick in my hand. And then I think I put it in my pocket because there's a wind gust. Then I almost lost that. And sometime during this duration, it fell onto the ground. And I'm back in the woods, and I get set up, or I'm setting up, and I'm like, where the hell's my new action camera? Like, I swear I remember it being in my hand during like some portion of that. I'm like, I don't see it in my bag. I'm like, maybe I left it in the truck. I don't think so. So I try to sit there for a little bit, and it's just eating away at me. And I'm like, I've got to find this. So I start retracing all my steps, and I like pack up all my gear. I'm like, I need to find this damn thing. Like, I literally just bought it. This is the first time I've taken it out. And then I end up finding it 50 yards from the truck on the ground. But it's like, holy shit, what a fail. Thankfully, I found it, but like, that could have been bad.
It's a good thing you thought like it was bugging you. Because if you thought you left it in your truck and it wasn't bothering you, you would have gotten home and like, oh, it's probably at the house. And
some lucky.
You get back.
Some lucky dude would have found it.
Yeah, right.
Where did I walk in at again?
So now I'm like, man, do I figure out how to rig some air tags to all my camera gear? Like,
yeah.
Not a bad idea, honestly.
All right. Here's another tip: always use your tracker on Onyx.
Yep.
Turn your tracker.
The step tracker. Yep.
Yes.
That's what I did when I was searching for it.
Yeah.
And I just started grid searching everywhere that I walked. Like, I'm pretty good at remembering exact paths that I take and stuff. So at least I had that going for me. But it was scary. I ordered some mounting kits for the Insta 360 though. And there's one that goes around like your backpack strap. and it'll mount to it. So I feel like that'll be pretty cool. And especially if you like a turkey vest or something, you could just mount it to you.
Say that.
And I thought it'd be kind of cool to put a mount on my bow, maybe mount it to my stabilizer, and then you'll have like the 360 cam up, and then it'll get you drawing back. And then in the software, you can pan it the other way, so you can see it release the arrow and shoot.
That'll be sweet.
And I think it records 60 FPS, so at least you'll be able to slow it down a little bit.
Right. Yeah, that's going to be my next investment is one of those, because I thought about getting GoPros. Like I can get 3 GoPros to get the angle I can get with the Insta360. And my buddy Bobby, he rigged up something where it's like he uses like the selfie stick, but he's rigged to the back of where his back touches his pack. So then it's like an overhead shot the whole time he's hunting.
Yeah, I've seen that with motorcycles. People just stuff it in their riding jacket or something, and
it's pretty sweet.
Oh, and then I go to work. I think it was like Monday or Tuesday. I don't remember. And then I get a notification from the Insta360 app. Do you know what they just did? They just released the new version this week. The new model. I'm like, why?
Hey, I'll take it off your hands for you, man.
Yeah, right.
If you want to buy the new one, just send it my way.
That's funny, because that day that happened, you'd text me about that. And it was like 15 minutes before that, I'd popped the blind down, and I forgot. Like I have a backpack clip on my like GoPro, and I'd stuck it on a rod, and like I popped it in, and I like right as I pick it up, there it is. I was like, "Oop, yep, don't forget that, because I probably won't find it."
I also thought about throwing the Insta360 in like the ground by the decoy or something, or attaching it to the decoy.
I've seen some of those videos; they're pretty sweet. I don't know.
Our luck, we'd shoot it.
Yeah, probably. But that'd be so cool though, especially if you can get like a group of toms in, and they're all just like fighting or
right
there. Yeah,
I know beating the shit out of the one you shoot, like
right. Yeah, and I've seen like some of the like professional like videographers who've gotten to film these people. I was talking to them about what they use for mics, or there's like on a Facebook group or something, and they're like, we actually run a mic. We run a wired mic up by the decoys so that they can get all that sound and stuff. I'm like, that is cool. Freaking sweet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I'm not that fancy. I don't even own decoys, but yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's way cool.
But it's like, man, everything has to go fucking right. Once you start like adding the stuff for higher quality, it's like, well, this is less and less and less mobile. Like it just has to. Or everything has to work out.
Yep. So I upgraded from like a camcorder, like the Sony AX53, and I bought a mirrorless camera last fall. And I will never go back from a mirrorless.
The quality is amazing
because the quality is untouched, and it's just in my head. I'm like, okay, I can't go back now. But with the camcorder, there was no like focal point. Like it didn't have like a focus on it.
Or it would auto track.
Yes. And so when I'm filming these wide shots, like the turkeys, it was super nice because I could just open it up all the way, leave it, and then I could zoom in, even though it was super grainy. But with the mirrorless camera, I have to like adjust it.
Yeah.
It's autofocus, but having a camera guy is so much better. It's awesome. I'm not a professional filmer. I've only been doing it for like 2 years now, but having somebody running a camera is so nice.
Well, you have to shoot the animal twice when you're self-filming. Like,
yeah.
I still run the old not camcorder, but I mean it's a Sony RX10. Right. Like you can hook. I do a lot of self-filming still, so it's like, grabbing the bow, getting the other one going. My biggest thing with mine is like when I start zooming in on video, you can hear like the like, come on. But
camcorders will do that some too.
Yeah, well, like the camcorders, you can have remotes, so you can adjust your camera arm and have it on the remote. With the mirrorless, yes, there is some like auto zoom lenses and stuff, but most of the time it's not. And so
you have to start adding cages and stuff too.
Yeah.
Right. But the quality is so cool.
It is.
You can go back and watch my videos, and you'll see whenever me and Lance started filming together, because he had a mirrorless camera, and that's why I bought one. You'll just see the transition of like, okay, this is some junk, grainy footage that he didn't know what he was doing, and then here's some junk footage with higher quality equipment.
Yes. Yeah, that's the goal over here too, is eventually go mirrorless, because you get just having the interchangeable lens, like you can get some high quality glass out there.
Yeah, it's so
I come from a photography background and stuff, so I used to do a lot of media stuff, and yeah, you can, the quality, like the bar is up here. You like, it's endless what you can do, but the price is insane too.
Yeah, the cameras are expensive, but that's not even the expensive part.
No. Your glass should be the most expensive thing you have.
Right. Yeah. Even if you don't want it to be, it is the expensive thing.
It'll be the most notable quality improvement you can do.
Right. And I hate it because I love videography and photography so much, but there's so many things I want, but even getting like two of the things I want is going to cost like 15 grand.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, no, you're at least at 10 grand immediately. Yeah. Like,
and I cannot afford that. So I'm not rich at all. And that's what sucks about it. So if you're going to switch over, you're going to have somebody come film for you and they have a mirrorless camera, just know it's going to ruin your phone for you, and it's going to ruin like the entry level camcorders.
Yeah. You can still spend some good money on some entry level, but it's going to ruin it.
Yeah. They're not cheap, and they're so much easier to use. If you're starting off filming, like if you wanted to start self filming, get a camcorder and get a remote for it.
Get a remote,
you can.
Huge difference.
Yeah,
absolutely. Do not get a DSLR. Because you will burn the sensors up. It needs to be a mirrorless if you're going that style.
Yeah, and mirrorless are so much easier to find now. But get a camcorder. I'd say that just to get into it and see if you like it, you can get a decent camcorder used for probably $600, probably cheaper. And that's for like a good one. That's like, it's like a new one would be like $1,000 or $1,100.
Honestly, though, if you're getting into it, I don't even want you to buy one. Use your phone, because modern phones are insane.
Right.
Where they start to fall off is when you start zooming past like 3 times or something, because it's a software zoom. So your quality is going to go to hell real quick.
Yeah. But so even normal filming though.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And so like I'll use the AX53 for an example. Is I think new it's about $1,000. So you can buy them used anywhere from like $600 to $1,000, I guess, used. But it's got a 30 times optical zoom, and then it's got 100 times digital zoom. So you could look at a tick's asshole if you wanted to. Like it's
you speaking from experience, or
yeah, it's crazy. That's the one thing I miss about it, is the zoom is insane. And there were some encounters that me and Lance had while we were filming, where we both had mirrorless cameras and we're running them, and we didn't get focused on a buck that was running through the trees or whatever. With the camcorder, everything's kind of in focus, so it all kind of moves around. Yeah,
I have the Canon XA10.
Yep, also a great one. All my stuff's Sony, so that's
Sony. Let's go.
Yeah.
So phones are for YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and Insta, and camcorders are for YouTube Real videos. I mean, you can use a phone for real videos too. Like the quality is like, I'm just gonna say the new iPhones. I have an iPhone. That's what I have. The camera quality has gone insane with them, and this phone is going to beat out a lot of your lower level camcorders and video quality. Like
on quality, yes. For Zoom and easy, because you got to also think about storage.
Yep.
I mean, if you're running 4K footage, it's going to take a lot of storage. Yes, turn it sideways.
Yeah,
if you want to get into it, you can. If you have a phone, I mean, I think most people have smartphones nowadays. Get a phone, get a camera arm, and you can cheap out on those too. Like if you can screw stuff into if you're hunting public, you really can't. screw in, but you can order a $20 Realtree phone mount. Or you can order a $40 painted arrow and stick it on the
Yeah, I was going to bring them up.
Right. Stick it on the front of your bow. You can do it. There's no reason why people can't start filming with. I'm just like, I don't want to call myself a control freak, but whenever I see something good, I want to make it better.
I'm OCD with quality.
Right.
Yeah. Heck, even a GoPro on your stabilizer on the front of your bow, I think is a huge thing. I'm not a huge what are those ones? Stabilizer.
Tacticams.
I'm not a huge Tacticam one, but I'm telling you, like, even since I've started self-filming, one of the biggest things I've learned from some other buddies was have a second angle camera on your bow, because I've had it where I get the big camera on it and he takes 2 steps out of frame, and luckily I still have the GoPro on the stabilizer and got the shot there. Yes, it's not your big camera quality by any means, but it's still the shots on camera. Like, you still have video of the deer, because I mean, you're obviously holding the bow towards the deer, so you're following it. So that's probably one of my biggest tips, I guess I'll give for
kind of
self-filming.
Kind of be conscious on trying to hold after the shot too, though, with that.
Oh yeah.
And that's
because it kind of goes against what you're taught with shooting archery. Like, you want to let the bow fall, but then it's like,
let it all be natural, and you just gotta practice with it. I will say, if you're wanting to do like the YouTube style where you're doing an interview and then you're having the filming and whatnot, then probably a painted arrow or a GoPro mount where you take it off and do like your interview stuff or whatever. I'd say that'd probably be the best thing to do. If money's not an issue at all, I'd say get the best quality you can. That's going to be the easiest, and
something 4K.
Right. And I'd say, and we could go down a rabbit hole. Like me and Lance, we got camera arms last year. We got 4th Arrow arms. That's something you don't want to cheap out on either, because that's holding all of your equipment. We got better ones because we are running a little bit bigger camera, so we can't get the smaller ones that are made for less weight and whatnot. But I think there's a level for everybody. You can go completely expensive and you can spend $10,000 on just your camera setup, and then your camera arm, and then your mics, and then this and then that. Or you can spend, if you have a phone, I think the cheapest route you could probably go would be $40. You can probably buy a used painted arrow somewhere for probably 20 or 30.
Yeah, get an external mic.
Yeah, that's the cheapest, and you don't even have to do that. And then you can edit it all in CapCut or whatever on your phone. So that's the cheapest way to do it.
That's where I started. iMovie, dude. For a couple of my first YouTube videos were edited with iMovie. It's simple. It's really not hard to use. It's fairly, self-explanatory. But and back to your painted arrow thing, man, dude. I can't tell you. All my GoPros I bought are on Facebook Market. I have never went and bought a brand new.
Same.
Maybe one I have, but like in the last, 5 or 6 years, I literally watch Facebook Market religiously for a GoPro.
Right.
I bought a new 9 or 10 last year. The dude literally was like, yeah, we've used it 3 times for my daughter's volleyball, and he's like, ever since. And I bought it for like $200, and I was like, I'll come get it tonight, type of deal. So it's a little more expensive, but they shoot 4K. They sound pretty decent. They always have the sound of the GoPro,
right,
or a small camera like that. But
and we should say preface this. I am not a professional videographer at all.
Same here.
This experience is from like the last 3, I guess 2.5 years, whatever. But
trial and error.
Yes, I've increased that every 6 months or so, because I just am like antsy and I want to do better. So that don't take everything that we're saying to heart. I'm just trying to be honest and upfront. Just say, if you want really good quality, you're gonna have to spend some money. If you want medium quality, you're gonna have to spend some money, but not as much. I've got a mirrorless camera, brand new Sony, but I have a $20 shotgun mic on it, and it works fine for me. And that works. Could I have better audio? Absolutely. But I'm not going to buy that right now.
So, right.
Gets the job
done. You have to set your...
want to get in.
Yep, you have to set your budget and your goals and determine it for yourself. Doesn't matter what we use, what we don't use. I come from like a photography background and no cameras and such, but I haven't done nearly as much filming side of it. It was mainly photo. I've dabbled, but really diving in deep with this. And like I said, I'm going to end up going mirrorless too, but adds a whole other ballpark to it.
It is. So. They're so fancy. Camcorders are so easy. You turn it on, you click the record button.
And even then, yeah. Even with that being said, so self-filming isn't easy.
No.
No. That's where I go back to the camcorder. Like self-filming, dude, I hate to say it, the mirrorless is awesome. But when I first started filming and it was self-filming, I was running a DSLR. My wife does wedding photography and stuff. And so luckily, I don't have a ton of knowledge in cameras. I'm just luckily she does. I used an old DSLR, and I'm gonna tell you this: it was impossible to film, but ever since I've gotten the Sony RX10 with a remote on it, man, and it is like amazing. You're grabbing the bow in one hand and you're starting the camera in the other, and it's like you said, it's a click of a power button, record, and you're lucky. If you got a good remote, or a decent remote. I got a $20 Amazon remote that I've went through 2 of them, and you got zoom on it. It changes the game. It's huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Picture this, right? You have this buck getting you all excited, walking up. You're going through your adrenaline, your heart's pumping. You grab your bow, and you have to other arm position your camera, have him in frame there, and draw back, glance, make sure he's still in frame. So it's good having a zoomed out, like a little wider. So if he walks a little bit when you're going through the process, he's still in frame, which also is a big reason why you should go 4K if you can, because going 4K gives you room. If you're doing 1080 videos on YouTube or wherever, you can post-production crop without losing quality.
Right. Yeah.
So
yeah. And just to kind of cap off the self-filming stuff, you have to do it no matter what you go with, because this last fall I was hunting a lot. The new property added a lot of screw the camera, I'm gonna just hunt, and I regret it deeply not having my camera with me every time I went out. So if you do get into it, if I could give a piece of advice besides the equipment, just do it.
Commit.
Yeah, just do whatever situation you're doing. Don't ever just say, "Well, I'm leaving the camera in the truck today," or whatever. Bring it with you, even if you don't film anything. You at least have it. If you want to, and you're not regretting it.
On one hand that I've left. I probably not even one hand. I can count on the times I've left since filming. I've left screw it, I'm leaving the camera home. And but there's so many times where I've been I'm not going to bring the camera, and I pull it out of the bag, set it there, and then I'm getting all ready. I'm just I can't do it. I truly can't do it. It's in there. Like you said, even if you don't see nothing, I'm probably filming some birds or some leaves blowing in the wind.
Right.
Yep. And think about it. Camera stuff does add some extra weight and stuff to your gear. So I've kind of offset it going, lighter weight gear here with what areas you can and all that, but plan for the extra bulk and extra setup time. You climb the tree, and especially when you're new to it, man, you putting up your tree arm and trying to get it fastened to the tree and then mount your camera to it. You're going to have little jitters not wanting to drop your camera at first too. It's a whole learning curve.
It is.
And it adds setup time.
I run I put a Vortex Bino strap on my camera. So when I get my arm set up, I stick the camera and the little tiny itty bitty screw that holds everything together, on your base plate. I screw that in, and then I take that strap and I loop it over the last leg of my arm multiple times, so that if something breaks on my fluid head, then my camera might fall.
Safety chain, basically,
to the ground. Yes. So one time this last fall, here's another stupid mistake. I was in a tree hunting on a saddle, and I had a pretty good lean to it. And I didn't realize how big the lean was until I was up there trying to draw my bow back. And you draw and gravity wins, and you start falling one direction or the other. And so I got down and switched trees. Well, instead of putting my stuff in my pack, like I walked in with it, I just stuck my camera arm on my little side compression straps. And I got about halfway up. Deer start walking in, 2 decent bucks actually. They were probably 2.5-year-olds, but I was like, oh, there's deer. So I'm sitting there waiting, and I see Big Boy up on top of the hill. So I stop, and I'm just slowly going, and my stupid camera arm slides out of my compression straps and hits every damn stick on the way down. So it's just ding, ding, ding. Yeah. I was so mad. I'm like, I'm not getting back down to get it. It's staying down there. So screw it. I'm not meant to film today. It's not happening.
I have to go to this comment here that says, has filming ever cost you a harvest opportunity? And I'm not going to name the camera arm that I used to run by any means. I don't want to throw them under the bus because they make good stuff. But when I was running a DSLR, and we know DSLRs, mirrorless, they're a little heavier than a camcorder. They got more weight to them, more glass, obviously. But I had a couple bucks coming in a decent, probably 130s or so, 140s, public land, buck coming in, and I took it to where how you set up, and I swung it like around the tree to get the shot, and that camera arm didn't have fourth arrow like it has the ball and socket. You like literally ratchet strap it, level it, like you kind of seat this camera arm, and the bottom ended up like I brought it around the tree, went to go pull back, and like I looked at my camera arm and I saw it shift a little bit, and I like looked at it again, and that deer came into like 15 yards, and right as I pulled my release off the bow, and it kicked out, and I caught it in my hand before it like smacked against the tree. And gosh. I had to literally sit there and hold my camera in my hand as that deer just walked right by, couldn't do nothing about it. So I mean, the right gear is huge, but at the same time, what you can make work for you.
Yeah. I mean, my answer to that is I am not far enough into it where it's if I can't get my camera on something that is shoot worthy, I'm saying screw it, whatever. It's not going to be on camera. Like I can hit the record button, but if I can't get him in frame because he's moving too quick or whatever, I'm just going to say screw it. And I've done it with, these deer walking in that I thought maybe I was killing, or like a coyote one time. I did mess it up on that, but I was trying to get the coyote in frame, try to shoot with my bow, and he saw me moving my camera, so it cost me that opportunity. But it's just right now where I'm at is if there's a big one coming in and I can't get it on frame, whatever. It's just the camera staying where it's at. If I can move it, I'll move it. If not, it's fine. So I think it depends on how you set your mind, how you do it. Are you going to be like, no matter what, it's going to be on camera? And again, it goes back to it's perfect world. You have somebody filming for you because it's so nice. It's so much better.
I've said the same thing myself too. Like, in certain situations, I'm the type of person that I want it on camera. Like, I want to relive this moment, but I'm gonna be honest, that 200-inch walks in and I can't get it on camera, but it's 15 yards, perfect opportunity, man.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna try.
I'm gonna try hard to get it on camera, but I'm gonna be honest. There's how many times are you gonna have an opportunity at 200 plus inch buck? I mean, we might have a couple in our life as avid hunters as we are, but we might only have that one shot, and I want the 200 on the wall bad. I mean, how it goes.
And that comes into having the second angle. If you're running an Insta 360 or whatever over your shoulder, you're going to get some footage of it at least.
Yeah, it's not going to be zoomed in, but at least it's something.
Right.
Yep. Like I say, the GoPro on the stabilizer or something, man. And I've even had a couple hunts where I forgot to turn, and I just know I got the camera on the deer and everything. But yeah, I have my GoPro is just a finger. I can grab my bow and click it on. It's and it's done. You know what I mean? But like you said, it's that second angle that if something happens, that at least you will hopefully have the shot on camera. You might not have all the extra exciting stuff, but at least you have the shot. So
have something. Yeah.
So.
And honestly, you can recreate a lot of the stuff if you really want. But
you can.
If you can get the approach and encounter, that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
But
the people want to see the shot. I'm gonna be honest. On the YouTube channels, on the the shows, man, people want to see the shot, and if you don't have the shot on camera, I mean, don't get me wrong, you can still make a great video, but people want to see the shot.
That's the bread and butter.
Yep. So I want to go back to I hate to keep bringing up the GoPro and the stabilizer, but I do run a mount for the people who, are just getting into it. But I think it's called a handlebar mount, honestly. And it's got a full 360 push a little button down. You can turn the camera whichever way. And for your second angles or your interviews or you're walking in, man, I can't tell you how many times because as a self filmer, no one wants to walk in with their actual camera in their hand, like their big main camera, trying to do what they can, or a tripod, setting it up, walking back, walking past it, I'll just take that GoPro and literally turn it to where it's, not facing off my stabilizer, but facing me. And I'll just hold my bow up here, looking at me doing an interview, or, walking through the grass, through the timber, whatever it may be, it's, just to get stuff started, man. It doesn't take a ton, but you can do multiple things with something as simple as that.
And everybody makes a mount. You can go on Amazon, get a cheap mount. Not to keep bringing up Painted Arrow, but they also have it. Theirs is a magnet, so it can just clip on. I don't have it, but I talked with them at the shows and stuff. Got to see it, and they're coming out with a bunch of cool stuff.
Actually, just got the new second angle at the Deer Classic.
Did you?
The one that wraps around, and it just magnets right there, dude. I even I got the thing in the back of my phone, so I can even if I'm getting bored, watch a football game or something.
Right.
But
I did that last year too.
That's huge. So I'll be excited to actually get that out and try it. And plus, then you're not trying to, with my second angle GoPro that I put up to look at me, you're always trying to find a branch or the tethered, I forget what you can hang stuff off of. There's times where I try to make it so I can slide it in there and and it just doesn't ever look right. So now I'm I can just strap that to a tree right on me, whatever angle. I'm excited to use that, honestly.
That's cool.
So.
Yeah, me and Lance both regretted not getting as much footage as we wanted to. And we didn't realize it till afterwards. So we're gonna it's gonna be full, even if it's just today I filmed all my turkey stuff and there wasn't really anything exciting, but I filmed I have it, and I'm going to post a video. It's going to be posted. At least I have it. People can see the process of whatever. But and it just, if you want to do it, even if it's just for yourself, you just do it. There's ways to do it.
I think my problem is always never doing enough B-roll.
Right. But you're getting down into I think a lot of people.
The nitty gritty.
Yeah.
A lot of people who ask about it, they're wanting just to,
film to capture the moment.
Yeah, they want to get the kill shot or the recovery or whatever. I think that's what most people are asking about when they're wanting to get into filming. I could be way wrong, but what'd you do over there?
My light just cranked up, dude. Thumbs up.
Good morning.
I'm also excited. I got I always say it wrong. DJI. I want to say G, but DJI makes it's $150 Amazon gimbal, phone gimbal. Something I'm really looking forward to using, because we talk about our phones take, good footage as long as you're not zooming in. It'll be huge. That's one thing I'm going to have stuffed in my
interview.
Yeah, clipped on here. You can just snap it on. B-roll footage walking in, click it back to you, do an interview type of deal, instead of trying to get up in the tree and turn your camera arm towards you, or GoPro on you. Because like I said, the sound on GoPros just never sound, anything like talking into your phone or talking into your big camera. So I'm excited to use that. And, when, hopefully when me and Daniel are hunting, instead of me carrying the big camera, I can still have it away and pull that thing out and just do B-roll footage with that. So,
especially walking in, me and Lance got a bunch of footage just on our phones. We're walking in and it's dark and we're both getting ready to climb a tree, and it's just so much easier to pull your phone out and videotape right then and there. Then when you get up into the tree, you get the big camera out and you get a bunch of the B-roll footage, and then when you're walking throughout the day, you have the big camera. But just quick and easy, get the camera out real quick. And even Lance, being the videographer he does a bunch of stuff outside of the hunting realm. he even uses his phone for stuff too. Like just sometimes it's more practical to get
phone cameras are great now.
Yeah, just to get this one shot, and I've done it. I mean, multiple times. So you can make it work with whatever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Most of like 80% of my interviews and exit interviews are with my phone.
Yep.
I mean, there's no zooming. You're right here, like you're holding it right here. I mean, why get out the big camera? Or, I can see, like I said, the GoPro, if you got like a selfie stick for the GoPro type deal. But I mean, yeah, most of the time it's this. It's right here, boom,
right,
done type of deal. So,
All right. So we'll answer this question. We're towards the end of time here, but scenario: you have 1 hour to hunt on stand all season deer hunt. Where do you choose? For example, I choose Wednesday before gun in Minnesota, and a known pocket close to bedding, 10 to 11 a.m. I mean, for me, I guess I don't know that I have any exact specific date by any means. I personally just try to get out and enjoy nature as much as I can. But I mean, some pre-rut action or early rut. I mean, rut can go either way. You can have some insane scenarios, but it's also sporadic. But there's something about the Iowa rut that's fun, just seeing them all riled up and
yeah. I would say where I am at, like the first week in November before like the rut officially kicks off, I would pick a day in there, and then I don't know about times just because deer are weird, man. Like, I feel like the answer everybody gives is that last hour of shooting. Always you're gonna have, if I'm going for just killing something, I'd probably pick that.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't want to pick an earlier time because if it's a bigger buck, he's going to be moving around that time, but he might not move for a week. And he shows up doing that. So I'd say probably the last hour of the day and probably the first week in November.
It really, my, I guess, honest answer to that is it depends on the buck that I'm chasing. Like, however I've patterned him, like where I'm seeing him, just goes off of what data. I know it's super hypothetical, but I think I need more data to really.
Yeah, and I'd probably pick a pinch point. I know you asked, like a pinch point between food and bedding, or a field where they run around, chase does, or something like that. Somewhere where it's going to be close quarters. Deer are going to move through there no matter what. Because if a doe comes through, then the buck might come through during that time, and I think that's your best opportunity. It's kind of like a loaded question because everybody's got their own opinion.
It's hypothetical,
right?
Yeah, I'm kind of with you though on the last hour. Like, and I'm going to be weird here. I'm not going to say the rut. I'm going to say probably late season over some food. I mean, as long as, and that's where it comes back to the scenario. As long as the weather's right, cold, they're wanting to get on some food. Last hour before sunset, man, I'm sitting over some food and hoping that big boy's wanting to get a quick bite to eat before the sun goes down and gets real cold. So
that's a good one too.
But Iowa late seasons suck here lately, so it's hard to say that.
It stayed warm and all that. So one last thing I want to touch on before we wrap this up is one new thing I've been trying to do is ask guests what like recipes they have, like what's your wild game recipes. And I thought this would be interesting with you because we haven't really had any good tag soup recipes yet.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a couple for us. So
yeah, I do. So we'll stick with the kind of turkey theme. And I don't know if other people do this, but I can't remember what it's called. It's like Uncle Sam's chicken breading.
Yeah.
It comes in an orange bag.
Yes.
So and it's one of those things where everybody fries their turkey breast. I get it, but sometimes you only get 2 turkey breasts a year to eat. So I like frying them. Cut them up into little nuggets. Dip it in I do flour, and then I do that seasoning mix, and then an egg wash, and throw it into a pan or deep fry it. So that's what I love. And then deer, really we are pretty simple. My wife makes a stew where she takes a bunch of the cuts, but I don't know what's in it. So for me, it's usually just either grilled or fried 10 or 1. I'm pretty simple. I like the taste of venison, so I don't like to put a bunch of stuff into it.
See, and I'm not a big steak guy myself for venison. Like, that's a crazy thing. Like, I always like overdo them. So they're so easy to overdo. So I hate. So I'm gonna probably drive some people crazy, but like I grind most of my stuff. I make them into some sticks and some summer sausage. Right. And I'm just like, they're like, you want the straps? You want some, with the cuts? And I'm like, just grind it, because I'm the type of dude that will take a couple pounds of deer grind and throw in a big stick of butter and cook it up, and I can almost sit there and just eat it by the handful. Right. Yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, people are probably turning in their grave right now thinking that I don't eat deer steaks and the back straps, but dude, the grind, I just love the grind.
Oh, it's so universal too.
Yeah.
You can use it. Yeah. You are a little weird for not keeping the back straps though.
Yeah.
I just overdo them every time. It's a hard thing.
Right. I like deer steaks, but what I've started doing is I'll make a brine for the deer steaks and I'll let it soak for like 24 hours, and it's delicious. We will fucking get together, Andrew, and you're gonna try it.
Yeah, I've done one backstrap before, and we did it. My brother-in-law actually. I ripped out the back. I still rip out the back straps, But here lately, I've sent them in, like, I grind them. But we did do one time where he marinated in some like Jack Daniel's marinade, and I don't know. I must have just got lucky hair or something, but threw it on the charcoal grill, and I literally just sat there and just like kept rotating it. And then once it got like kind of done on the outside, I split it open and like got just a little bit more inside, and it was probably the best I've ever had. But ever since then, dude, I've had deer steaks, and dude, it's just like we get them off, and it's like chewing on a piece of leather. I'm like, God damn it!
I'm gonna tell you how weird you are. When you tell them to just grind up the backstrap, they're not grinding it up. They're taking it, keeping it.
Oh, for sure. They're like, we got some of this old stuff. We'll send to them.
Yeah,
for now.
No doubt about it.
It got dark in here. I didn't realize.
Pizza casserole with venison burger. Okay.
Sounds pretty good. Yeah, I mean, ground venison we use for everything.
Yeah. Luke says get me turkeys. No, we all suck. No turkeys yet.
Yeah. Our season's only been open. Yeah. Our season's only been open for 3 days now.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
Andrew and I potentially are going to go this weekend. I'm going this weekend. We'll see how it works out, but
I know I'm getting on with my dad a little bit. Still trying to get him on a bird. He's never shot one, and he was always the one that took me down hunting with my uncle and stuff, and just kind of was there to hang out. But since he's retired, I hate to say this, so I don't, but we just got him hooked up with a crossbow, and so I'm really looking forward to getting down to our farm. We got a few blinds and stuff, and getting him into the blind. And I got him a muzzleloader last year, and we had a couple close calls, but not like obviously, but. Right. He's pretty excited about it and everything. So
I think taking like my little brother, I'm going to buy him a crossbow this year. I mean, he's like 9, nice. And but I think I'm going to take him out early season, like before. Mm-hmm. The reason why I'm doing it is like he loves shooting the rifle, and like he's a really good shot. But I want to take him out early season, that way we can hunt places and not be as pressured. Yep. Because the youth season around here is so hammered, it's not even funny. And I think you'll have more opportunity because you can the deer are easier to kind of figure out. They're kind of not in that like pre-rut type of.
Yeah.
They're also
not super spooked yet.
Right. So I think I'm going to do it because our season opens in September.
Right. That's like our urban.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So the last bit here, I want to give you the floor to self-plug any of that.
Okay.
Where can we find you?
Yep, I'm Unnotched on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Do me a favor, go subscribe to the YouTube because I'm trying to make it really good. There's a couple videos, kind of filler videos between turkey season and stuff, but that's the one thing. Just go to the YouTube because I'm gonna try to film literally everything that I do. So, and I'm newer at most things, so I don't have that 10 plus years of experience with learning, tuning your bow, saddle hunting, whatever. All of it's knowledge that I've gained in the last 2 years. So I'm not paid by anybody to say anything. So go subscribe to the YouTube, Instagram, to whatever. All the platforms. It's Unnotched on all the platforms.
Perfect. And as always, be sure to check Veganless out on all the platforms. We're Veganless TV on Instagram, but most of them are just Veganless. We too film on YouTube. Maybe one of these days we'll get some more collab content going on. I can only imagine how epic the fails would be.
Oh yeah.
I mean, we're close enough that it would be easier to go out of state hunt Missouri. I think it's relatively easy to get out of state tags there. So we can always link up for some dumb challenge.
Yeah, we need to next year or like this fall if you guys come down to like shoot some does or whatever. Mm-hmm. But at the very least, come turkeys because we can even meet up in a different state. Turkeys are just here to kind of hunt with buddies with.
Yeah, so absolutely. Let's get something going.
Yeah.
So be sure to follow. Be sure to follow both pages there. This episode will go into podcast land after all this, and be sure if you have Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that, go throw 5-star on the podcast, help us grow, get into the algorithms there. But that's all we got for tonight. So thanks so much for tuning in. We will let you guys go.